Lab, they will tell us about their experience with the App Store. And the last presentation will be from me, and I will tell you about this awesome event, Game Camps. So, Lauris, welcome to stage.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. It's Mac. Yeah, slideshow. I don't Mac. I don't even Mac. Try now. Okay, hi everyone. I'm gonna tell you about my experience in Gamescom. Like this? Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Yeah, so Gamescom happened just a month ago, and I was there for the 4 regular days where every mortal can go. The first day was the business day, so I didn't go to that day because for different kinds of reasons. Okay. Please. Work. Back.
So, does it work?
Yep. Yeah, everything's cool now. Okay, so while I still got your attention, I'm gonna talk about the most important things. So keep in mind, German transit system is very unreliable because the train's gonna get delayed by 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes, or maybe just cancelled in general. So better book your hotels near the expo itself in the Cologne city itself. I accidentally didn't book the hotels on time, so I had to go to Bonn, which is like 30 kilometers away from Cologne and the expo itself. And but the public transportation is for free while the event's going on. So just if someone is checking your tickets, just show them the Gamescom ticket and everything's gonna be fine, and they can say that you're okay to go. And of course, make a schedule. For example, I had a schedule, wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, get hotel breakfasts, and then move on to the train station early as possible, even if it's like 1 or 2 hours early, so to be there on the spot. And most important thing, the survival kit. You need a camping chair, because people were carrying camping chairs. Also, many companies were like giving those, how it's called, cardboard boxes. Yeah, World of Tanks, also Samsung booth, were like giving away cardboard boxes that were like assembled, like chairs. Yeah, you can assemble them yourselves, pretty much. And of course, you can take water and snacks with you. It's all right if you carry your own stuff in there. Of course, you need comfortable shoes, a handheld to spend the time in the lines, and backpack to carry all the swag you're gonna get for free. And the first day, at first when I entered the hall, I panicked. I really panicked because I didn't know what to do, because there's so much things going around. And the first game that I played, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, because reasons. The line was only 30 minutes long. The game is pretty much like the previous one, except they removed the X-Men characters. But the game was fun. I completed 1 level, moved on. And then Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yeah, I can brag about it for a while. But the line itself was 3 hours long. But it was like an experience of its own, because people were like exchanging snacks. And it was like a Positivus festival or something, pretty much similar like that. People playing board games and stuff like that. Yeah, moment of glory. Still gonna brag about it. I got the first place in the first day in the Gamescom in Star Wars Battlefront 2. By it was the best score of the day, and yeah, I was really surprised about that, and the whole staff members were like praising me and saying that Darth Maul needs a nerf. Yeah, he needs a nerf. And they do already. That day I had planned to play Assassin's Creed Origins, but the line was closed because too many people wanted to play it. Again, improvised and went to Shadow of War, which is like pretty much also like Shadow of Mordor, if anyone has played. And I was like, first of all, stressed out because there was no keyboard and mouse. They gave me a controller and I felt retarded. 5 minutes later, I was already flying a dragon and burning everything that stood in my way. The game was interesting. Also, the controls on the screen were shown in German. Everything was in German, and yeah, that was a huge problem, but I managed it. And also, there were these Urukai cosplayers who were like making war noises and everything and interacting with the people in the line who were waiting and stuff. And yeah, Assassin's Creed Origin, the line was approximately 2 hours long. Assassin's Creed Origin was like totally different from the other Assassin's Creed games. And it actually now feels like an RPG, which was surprising, and the controls were directly ripped off from Dark Souls, which is a very good thing, actually. Yeah, and the day 2 continues, and actually that day was the most crowded, like crap ton of people. So I decided to go and visit the entertainment booth and also the indie booth, because those are the locations where people go if they don't want to stand the huge lines and everything. Okay. Entertainment hall. Entertainment hall was filled with different kinds of games that already released, different kinds of consoles, also retro games, retro consoles, arcades, and also people who like did arts and crafts and stuff like paintings. These ones which are like pixel art paintings that are like cut out pixel by pixel to create the depth of view, like make them look 3D-ish. And they wanted to also like create a business out of it. And also a huge collection of Pokemon, Nintendo DS things and stuff like that. Also there was a retro stand where people make new games for old consoles. I thought that was like a gimmicky thing, but people got their attention and so on. And also there were a lot of tournaments, Tekken, Mortal Kombat and so on. And the indie hall itself, yeah. There I spent actually 2 days in this hall. There was a lot of stuff to see, and my favorite game was Ire, a low poly like adventure game similar to Journey, and Child of Morta and Moonlighter, I think, yeah, which were also 2 pixel art games by the same publisher, and the games were very freaking amazing. Also, the indie hall was awesome because there were barely no lines, and also people were giving away free stuff, and also it was easy to communicate with everyone about. I just said that I'm from Latvian Video Game Developer Association, and everyone was just giving me contact information for future, like yeah, we can come to your presentations and tell about our projects and everything, and yeah, so I got some more connections for future game dev stuff, and yeah. And there was also a tech hall, which was filled with gimmicky VR stuff. Nothing too special, but there was this thing where people were competing to create their own custom computer, which was also interesting to see. A lot of new video cards and cooling systems for computers, also laptops and stuff like that. And day 3, okay. This day surprised me the most because the day before I was reading the news on my phone and found on PC Gamer they mentioned this game Biomutant and said that this game is freaking awesome, everyone who is at Gamescom should actually play it. And I went to see it and I was pleasantly surprised because the game was like Devil May Cry with RPG elements, also the crafting system. First I was just smacking around some kind of droids and everything, and one moment I was like looting all sorts of junk. Didn't know why would I need this kind of junk, and then I saw the crafting system, and yeah, it was quite impressive that you could actually combine all those junk items to create amazing things. And I also played Far Cry 5, which is pretty much the same as the previous ones, except this one had a companion system and also like a dog fight module with planes and stuff. And Ubisoft stage had amazing shows, and they were giving away expensive merchandise, and yeah, they even were throwing around keyboards and Watch Dogs 2 collector's edition figurines and stuff like that. I also went shopping in the merchandise place, which I will talk about in a bit. Day 4, during day 4, my energy was already like depleted, and I pretty much completed everything that I wanted to complete. And I met one of the, maybe even the best male cosplayer, Mole Cosplay, who's actually an awesome guy. We spoke about it, that we both never played Witcher 3 and that we never had time for it. And he really enjoyed it to just chat, because he was so annoyed that all the people just take a selfie, walk away, take a selfie, walk away. And there was quite a big line for him, and yeah, it was at the Gwent like stand there. You could play Gwent with him and all other people. And also I went fully desperate and played Mario and the Rayman Rabbit, which actually the game is like XCOM, only for kids. Oh, and I returned to the indie booth to replay a few games. Also I tried Fallout 4 VR. When I went into the virtual reality, I saw dog meat and just lost my shit. And people, my friends know how much I love pets and animals, and I was like, holy crap, dog meat, like right in front of me, like smiling and ready for action. Yeah, and the game was immersive, really immersive. All the freaking bandits coming at me with the freaking knife and baseball bats felt awesome to just, yeah, smug their heads off with the, yeah. And I can imagine the possibilities with mods, and yeah, those kind of mods. And okay, day 4 continues, and I actually went to visit the farming simulator place, and actually Merkel was also there and playing farming simulator, and the game itself, it's serious, like farming simulator and stuff, but their marketing strategies, come on, they dressed a guy in a cow costume, and they were throwing away farm hats to everyone and so on. It was just hilarious, the marketing itself. And of course, Final Fantasy had a huge spotlight because of the 30-year anniversary. And oh, about the farming simulator, yeah, I think it's German, like, favorite game, because what do Germans like do when they're not working? In the free time, they probably are simulating that they're working. Casual Germans. And the halls that I actually visited but was disappointed about was Sony and Microsoft. Because Sony had very weird strategies at this place. There was this game, Monster Hunter. I really wanted to like try it out because it's also coming out on PC and etc, etc. But their line strategy, how to like place people, was very, very weird. For example, if in the morning you like start standing in the line, you can only play the game by the evening or something. So it was total waste of time, and I did not play the game. And Microsoft was a very small and like not that important. They were had very small booths, and they didn't make a huge show like Ubisoft or EA did. And they actually had one good thing that I saw in the queues. They had these how do you call, like arcade machines which played indie games. So you could pass the time while waiting in the line, and yeah, that was awesome. And best game experience actually, which was like created like the best way possible. There were 2 lines here. One was for the ground combat in the Star Wars Battlefront, and one was for the space combat. But the presentation itself was awesome because right next to this was the EA stage. They were throwing away free stuff for everyone, showing new releases, new like yeah, sorry. New updates for games, the new DLC for Battlefield 1, the pets for Sims 4, yeah, okay, something like that. And yeah, and when the line ended for the Battlefront, huge doors opened, like from the Death Star, Durasteel doors opened up, and Imperial March started to play. You got greeted by stormtroopers. You walk inside the dark hall, which was which was like a briefing room, like preparing you for a war. And then when you watch the briefing video, you were sent into the battle. You didn't have to choose light side or dark side, they picked it for you. Thank hell I got dark side. And yeah, and then everything went to hell for the enemy team. I'm really sorry about that. And the merchandise, yeah, this was a turning off point, because when I was looking for merchandise, I was actually going around in my phone and checking the prices in the internet and in Latvia and comparing them. And actually in Latvia, most of this stuff is already available and actually cheaper. But if you saw stuff that has like limited edition or exclusive, if you think once, think once that you would like to have it, don't think twice, get it, buy it. If it's exclusive or limited, buy it. Because I wanted to get a limited edition t-shirt, and yeah, next day it was already sold out because I wasn't sure if I really want it, and yeah. And there were a lot of comic books. I even wanted to buy some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Guess what? All in German. Well, so that didn't work out. And of course, cosplayers. There were a lot of cosplayers. Of course, those pictures look all beautiful now, but all the blood and sweat to actually get to those people, to actually make those pictures, to actually catch those people. Like, it was crazy. It was impossible to get them because people were swarming them. I really felt bad for them because they got swarmed, and even some were like for example, the Assassin's Creed dude, he was probably hired by Ubisoft because he was at all the stages and everything, and yeah. And expenses, here is the thing that maybe some people are interested in, and actually it's not that bad, and I'm planning next year to actually put some extra money to the hotel to get it in Cologne itself, to get it like closer, because the train stuff, losing 1 hour in the trip, it's not worth it. Better add some extra money so that you can get there faster with the train, not train, but be on spot and just walk over the bridge and be at Expo in a matter of minutes.
It's a lot more expensive in Cologne.
Yeah, but I bet it's more worth it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. Oh, also, I bought student tickets for myself. No one checked it if I was a student, so maybe you can screw over the system maybe a little bit. And yeah, then I guess see you next year. Probably not, because one of the days the YouTubers, like some kind of YouTubers from also Star Wars channels came in, and I think they defeated my record. And it was not official because you couldn't take pictures of the screen. It was very strict, like very strict.
But they gave you a free swag.
Yeah, the poster. But the poster was for every single person who won out of the batches of people that were playing. So it was something, and they were like surprised that actually someone got that much score. Also, shooting Rey in the face with a freaking tank was the selling point of the game. And it's like, yep, gonna buy it. Any more questions? And GG.
Accidentally, I also have a Gamescom t-shirt. So another cheat for Gamescom, if you are a long sleeper like me, just wake up at 11 o'clock, go to the Gamescom, and buy tickets there for 75% of the real price. So don't buy the tickets earlier, just go there at 12 o'clock and they have a sellout for tickets. Just stand in a line like with other 20 people who are as smart as I am or sleep as long as I do, and buy those tickets cheaper. Because yeah, you can go at 9 o'clock and try one more game, because it's 3 hours and you will have to stand in a row for 3 hours for one game. So if you want one additional game per day, then you can go at 9 o'clock. Yeah, about the farming simulator, that's amazing. That's totally amazing. when I saw the booth the previous year, it was like, what? How? Lots of people, big booth. That's I cannot explain that. But okay, so the next presentation is from Beetroot Lab. Yeah, so come here and so.
Is mine now? Okay. Saka? Yeah. Hello, my name is Linda. I'm here today on behalf of a local game dev studio, Beetroot Lab. We are focusing mostly on, well, not mostly, exclusively on mobile games. And we have a big ambition to conquer the world of mobile gaming. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our first big attempt to actually do so. So, actually, today, exactly 1 month ago, we launched a game, Pong. Have any of you actually seen it or played it? Yeah? Okay. So some of you have idea what I'm talking about. It's a puzzle game. It's made for iOS platform, and it supports iPhone and iPad. And it was developed in a team of 5 people throughout a period of 7 months. Some of the people who have worked on Pong are actually here. We have Eric, who is the main artist of all this beautiful, colorful art behind me. I think we have Gunters, who have also touched a little bit of some little elements here and there. So yeah. So let me just tell you a little bit what the game is about before I move on to the interesting part, which is our story. How did we publish it? So the gameplay. Basically, it's quite a simple puzzle game. People see a lot of reference with curling and pool, because basically you need to slide the balls to hit the target. You slide the big bird ball to hit the star ball to get it inside the target, and throughout the game you're facing many different types of obstacles, which are making it very painful for you to do so. So that's the basic gameplay. But in Pong we have managed to pack this rather simple gameplay in quite a big and colorful package, meaning we have 150 linear levels, we have bonus branches with some extra content, we have reward system, we have power-ups and boosts that users can buy with the in-game currency that helps you if you are really stuck in some level and really are ready to smash your phone against the wall. Also, we have some social features like Facebook, that you can see your friends' progress from Facebook, and also share the content from the game on Facebook. About monetization, we have 2 types of monetization inside the game. One of them is ads, which are industrial ads, which run basically without your control. every 3-5 minutes, and also rewarded videos that you can watch a video and get some in-game currency that you can actually use later in the game. And we also have in-app purchases. For in-app purchases, you can buy the power-ups and the boosts to help you in the gameplay, like I already mentioned before. So, the game was ready. I would say it was 95% ready, and we were facing the dilemma that I believe a lot of probably small, indie, not so small developers face, and it is whether to self-publish or to go with a publishing partner. Self-publishing would mean to count on the luck a little bit, well, not a little bit, quite a lot. There would be a high risk of the game and all the work that has been put into the game to be lost in the very saturated App Store marketplace. And the other option would be to invest in the user acquisition, which is of course expensive. So then there is publishing, partnership, which means a lot higher chance of recognition by Apple, meaning by being featured on the App Store. But of course it also means a revenue share with your partner. So for Polypong, we decided to go with the second option. And this is how it went. I'm just gonna walk you through the process, what we went through, and hopefully you can take something from it that is useful for you as well. So first, we basically did, I guess, what everyone would do. We made a Google research, which is, I think, in a fancy name called a desk research, which are the suitable publishers for this type of a game, meaning a puzzle game. Then we prepared a pitch for these publishers. We have received a lot of valuable information from some very good contacts in big companies in the publishing world about what actually publishers expect to see from the game when they receive it, and what are the things they're looking at. So when we were pitching the game, we were not pitching just the game. We also had a bit about our team, about our story, about our plans. Not too much, but just to give an impression that we are a serious company with a serious plan for this game. Then we got lucky. We sent out few of the pitches, and one of them agreed, had a green light for us to basically enter the next phase, which is negotiating the contract. And obviously we did. We came to agreement. I must say that it is a rather time-consuming process because our partner is in the United States. And even though he's super responsive and always available if we need something, you can still feel the time difference in the communication. It's delayed because when it's a day for us, it's a night for them. So the contract process took a little bit longer than we expected. Once the contract was done, we received some feedback from the publisher, which was based on their previous experience, which required some changes in the game itself. Nothing major, but just some little tweaks here and there to make the game marketable. After doing that, when we have the final green light also from the publisher himself, the next stage starts where our publisher is actually acting as a mediator between us and the Apple App Store, meaning that he is pitching Polypong in this case to his contacts there to put on their roadmap for publishing. That includes whether they like the game, whether they don't like the game, and also if and agreeing on a suitable date. Also for specifically Apple App Store and Apple editors, or a recommendation that we received from our publishing partner was to prepare as many platform supporting and platform specific features as possible. So that's what you can see here. Those are all the things which were actually not so painful to do and not so complicated, but I believe they made quite an impact for us to stand out in the eyes of the publishers. So we made the iMessage stickers that you can see here. We made a 3D touch option inside the game, localization in 10 biggest languages. Well, we actually went out of the way and we made a unique ringtone on iTunes for the game, which was not a requirement from the App Store, but we just have a very enthusiastic audio guy who is using all the chances to make music, so this was his moment to shine. And then, of course, the Game Center. I'm talking now about the Apple platform, but this goes pretty much the same for Android feature as well. For Android, they are more data-driven, but they are still interested to see their functionality supported, meaning the main buttons, the home button functionality also in the game should work the same as the buttons work, and the game services instead of the Game Center for Android. Okay, so now we're moving on, fast-paced, to the actual submission moment. The game is already submitted on the App Store. We can see in our analytics that Apple editors are playing it. They are testing it in many locations in the world. I must say that we also see that they're not spending a whole lot of time testing these games. So that brings me to another point, that first impression matters the most in these cases, not only for the App Store editors, but also for the users themselves, meaning the onboarding process and everything. So the game is submitted, and we're basically waiting for the release date. And even though the publishing business is basically based on the featuring process, because there is no, I mean, in this case at least, there is no user acquisition involved, there is still quite a lot of uncertainty. I mean, no one besides Apple can guarantee you a feature, even the partners they're working with. So I think the only sign, and the good sign, which is a good sign but still doesn't guarantee anything, is a promo art request, which appears on the iTunes homepage in your internal page for your game shortly before the launch date. And we knew about this, that it could happen, and that it actually did happen. So this was our little champagne moment when we felt very excited and very happy that we can actually start believing a little bit that this is actually going to happen for us. So they asked for all sorts of promotional additional artwork, which would be for banners, for homepage, if they decide to use the skins. So basically, we provided everything possible. Eric spent, I think, like 24 hours almost trying to arrange all of that, because of course you want to do everything pixel perfect, so there's no issues with the files. And yeah, and again, we submit all of that, and then we wait again. And when everything is done from our side, this is basically the last thing. We cannot do anything more at this point. It's the waiting until the moment of truth on Thursday morning, evening, depends on which side of the world you are. So yeah, as the time zones are changing and the App Store homepage is updating, we saw that we are actually featured and that we got a good position in the feature. I must add that the feature position does vary on the country, and it's not always the same. We also did, this is a screenshot from the UK App Store, and there was also, of course, not everything went smoothly. For example, this main banner, which is a super important thing if you get a feature and you get that nice banner up there on the App Store, but they didn't do it right away from the first day of the feature. So that was kind of like a bittersweet moment for us. Like we see that they are taking it and they are actually placing it, and we understand that they mean well, but I guess Apple are also just people at the end, you know, behind all this big superpower. So yeah, this is how our feature looked like. So yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about the pros and cons of the feature, how we experienced it. So the pros are definitely the massive exposure you get from being there. Well, I guess it can be compared by being on the first page of the Google search, which is rather difficult and expensive to be obtained with different resources. Then, of course, the fact that we get a worldwide coverage with this, and of course, it's an amazing PR and an amazing track record for us to be recognized by them, and a great boost for our team as well to see that that the editors and Apple actually do find us worthy to put on their homepage. Because at the end of the day, we do understand that Apple works as a shop, basically. They are putting products in their front page. So they are putting their things that they think that will sell. Of course, you also have to meet their style and be trendy and colorful, and that's everything that we think that Polopong is. But there are also some cons. Like I already mentioned a little bit, the feature is unpredictable. In a way, if you go this way, you have this excitement when you get the publishing deal and you feel like you're going in the right direction, but still, even a few days before, until the very moment that it is launched, you don't know for sure whether it's going to be featured or not. So that's a whole lot of uncertainty there. The second thing, that it is a limited time event. It is a maximum of 1 week, but it can also be less. It can be less because App Store now is also updating the feature list in the middle of the week. So you can also be featured, but get like a half a week of the feature, which is of course less downloads for you. And the third thing that we observed, and that we did not expect actually, is that the target audience is not specified. Meaning, in the feature week, we get like 130 million exposures, and the downloads that were driven, there was from the downloads that were driven to our application, there was a percentage of people who have downloaded the app but have never opened it. It made us feel that there are people who are following App Store. They're taking their suggestion that yes, this is the app you should download. So basically, they're downloading everything, and it all comes down on their smartphones, but they don't really bother to play it or to open it. And the second point is that this audience that we are receiving the downloads from is not really targeted. Those are people who are just checking it out just because it's on the feature page. It's not necessarily the people who are definitely interested in the genre or the ones that we would, for example, target if we would do a paid campaign. So life after feature, what happens? So the feature brought us a whole lot of downloads and a whole lot of information. And we do value the data the most in this, because we can operate with it now, because now we know for sure who are the people who are playing the game, how old they are, we know their behavior inside the game, we know the critical levels, we know the things that make them stop playing. So with the feature, nothing really ends. It's actually, in a way, only a beginning, because at the moment we are working on a massive update to take into consideration all this data that we have received and make and really polish and perfect the game to meet the audience and make it perform even better. So the recommendations that we could give from our experience is to keep it simple and sticky gameplay-wise, if we're talking about the mobile puzzle game genre, meaning don't overpack it with extra things, thinking that it would make it more interesting and appealing to people. Pay attention to the onboarding process, because the first impression matters the most. Regarding the publishers, don't be afraid to negotiate the deal with the publishers, because I could imagine a situation that if you are like an indie developer and you get in touch with some big publisher, you feel like you need to agree with everything that they say and you cannot get a better deal or offer. But the truth is that if you have a nice game and a nice product, which they are really interested in, you can set out like your own rules as well, or at least discuss them, or to come to some kind of mutual agreement. About analytics, I mentioned the importance of the data, but my personal recommendation would be to use one analytics SDK for the game and stick with it, because of course you get the data from iTunes, you get the data from Facebook, and that is very accurate and very useful. But if you have several analytics SDKs integrated, it can become a bit confusing and a bit messy too, since they all have their own specifics, how they are reading the data. So you need to understand that as well. And the last one is to be ready to react quickly. So if it's about the feature, it's only 1 week, so it's a limited time. You want those downloads, you want those people, you don't want to miss your chance really. So in case you have a problem, in case you have a critical bug, we might have had it, we might have not had it, and you need to be really ready to react quickly and not to miss your chance really. Another interesting thing that we remembered about, was that each Apple developer's account can have one expedite review per year, I believe. Meaning that if you have something really critical with your application, if it's on the App Store, you can ask for a faster review process to the Apple to actually get it through and get it in the App Store faster, not going the usual 1-2 day review process. So yeah, finally, what's next for Beatrice Lab for us? Besides the big update for Polypong, we also have 3 other games in development. We're working on a rather massive combat city builder game, a multiplayer strategy game, and also a few little puzzle games. So Polypong really is just the beginning for us, and there is a lot of exciting things to come. Yeah, thank you for your attention, and in case you have any questions.
How big is the company?
Beatrice Lab?
Yeah.
We have a team of 20 people working on all these projects.
What is Polypong only for iPad and iPhone?
Yeah. We were actually planning to launch it both. We had it basically prepared for Android and for iOS. Then we made a deal with the publisher, and it happened to be a situation that our publisher was specifically strong in Apple platform, but did not have such an impressive performance in Android. Okay. So basically, yeah, we decided not to be the guinea pigs, to try to do it. So we decided to go Apple first, and then Google, which is of course not appreciated by Google if you do that. And we were not actually so thrilled about this at the time, but now looking back and seeing all the lessons that we have learned from this launch, I actually do believe that we have a chance to prepare a much stronger Android launch now than we did at the time when we were launching 1 month ago.
Can you disclose how much users did you get in this week? Real users which played at least the second.
Well, I can disclose that we got, in the future week, we got around 200,000 downloads. And then there is a percentage, like I said, which are not
playing,
yeah.
And I got another question about this publisher. What would happen if you wouldn't be featured?
That's the downside of publishing. Basically, he does not really hold any responsibility for that.
But does he try to promote your apps?
Yeah, he has a cross-promotion network. Yeah, it's also promoted in his cross-promotional network. But if you compare that power to the feature power, it doesn't really stand next to each other.
What was day 7 retention for the game?
Day 7 retention. We're talking here about day 1 retention.
Yeah, sort of percentage.
Yeah, I mean, day 1 retention, ideally should be 40%. We have it below. We have it at 33, which is keeps us hopeful that we can get it up. And day 7, well, obviously was lower than this.
Could you please bring to the second slide? Is this the official art?
This is the one that we actually loved so much ourselves. And the moment we were making the
those botches. Do you have a problem with Nintendo? Because I see these potatoes smiling.
the potatoes. Eric, you have to respond about potatoes from Nintendo.
The potatoes?
Yeah.
You mean on the floor?
Yeah.
On the left? Oh, I actually...
Once.
Yeah, 3, the brown ones. Yeah, I took the idea actually from the game Little Big.
Planet?
No, it was a game, very cool game when you jump around and you could stuff. And I liked the design of the game so much that I just took these guys and put them.
Did you think about Pokemons?
No, actually, they very similar.
Eric, what you mean is that you were inspired by them, right?
I was inspired with this
Yes.
game, it's not
Yeah.
Pokemon, but I mean, yeah, now I remember them.
Yeah, but we did love this specific poster a lot. But the moment when we were preparing the promo art for the App Store, we got a little bit scared, so we actually did remove the butt cheeks from it. So we didn't want to get some extra rating. What we did for the App Store was this guy. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Yeah, just from the other side. He still has the butt cheeks there, but on the other side.
Is he like hoping Uncle Sam? I want you to play this game.
Exactly. Yeah. His
No,
slogan is,
you're
"Are you ready for this?"
Yeah,
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
The App Store actually made this banner themselves. We just gave them some kind of leaves and the sky and the background, and they put them how they wanted. So I believe all the different banners from other apps and games are actually made by App Store. Like they get materials from us and make it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And actually there is an icon on the telephone. Maybe can you show the icon?
Well, guess which one is the icon?
There is a laser.
Oh, this is a very high level. Oh, okay. This
And we actually
one.
think that icon should be more precise about the game because we are not a huge brand and we want to change the icon now to meet the gameplay so people understand what the game is about, because now it's just a bird and statistics show that people doesn't understand the icon.
Yeah. Basically, we want to have this gap between the impressions and the downloads smaller. So it means that the icon as well, even though we think it's very good looking and stands out from the one from the crowd, basically, it does not really say much about the gameplay itself.
It's more like an application for some
Yeah.
kind of photo designing
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I must also add that when launching Polpong, we did not have any soft launches, or really, we only had like the inside opinion of how we see the game, and of course it's subjective. So now,
Explain what is soft launch, because even me, I don't really understand. Why should you soft launch a game?
well, I think probably most people know about soft launch, but soft launch, well, not only for the puzzle games, it's more for the strategy games and the larger scale games, is a test period when you try out your game in a lookalike market, I would say. If your target market is United States, you soft launch your game in Canada, Australia, somewhere where it's cheaper to get the downloads. But you get the user behavior, which is very close to your target market. So you already see how the people are behaving inside the game. You make these tweaks and adjustments, and only then you launch in the real market.
So if you create a game, do the soft launch first and learn.
It depends on what kind of game, of course, you make. The reason why we didn't do it, because even though we have a lot of features inside the game, it's still a puzzle game, and it's not a massive project. So yeah. Okay, thank you.
So the last presentation, I will try. Okay. I will try to do it really quickly, and it will be more like a question and answer session and less presentation. So what is GameCamps? GameCamps is a 48-hour event that everybody from you should be at, even if you have never made a game and haven't done anything connected to games. Just go there and just join a team and make something great. So there will be people from 4 countries, from Sweden, Finland, Estonia and Latvia. And we expect more than 100 participants. I hope that there will be a lot of people there. So the teams. So this is the winner team. This is a guy from Sweden, and the rule is that you have to have a team of 2 countries, at least 2 countries. So this is a guy from Sweden. There was one guy from our association from Latvia. Jāzeps is not here, I guess, and they won the competition. And yeah, so what you get at the event, you get the mentorship. There will be people from different countries that will mentor you. You go with your project, and people will tell their opinions, and with some deeper knowledge about the industry, tell what you should change and what you should do with the project. The jury is also people from different countries. There will be a girl from Casual Connect, the main organizer, Julia. You know her. So she will be one of the mentors, and she will also join the jury. So pretty awesome people there, and yeah, so you should be there. And the presentations. So at the end you present your idea. So you develop your game for 48 hours. Then you present the idea, and then the jury decides the winner. And the winner, the three first teams, the three winners get 10,000 euros each. And I tell you, winning this competition is really not a hard job. In Estonia, I was in a jury, and I will be in a jury this year. We had only 2 teams to actually give prize to. There were 5 or 6 maybe, or even more games presented, but only 2 of them qualified as playable games. So just make something playable, and you will definitely get the prize. There is a catch about the prize. So you will have to make a company, international company, register it here in Latvia or in the country that your teammate is, and then you will get the money in your company, and you will be able to spend it on art or marketing or anything. 10,000 is not a lot, but it's a good kickstart, and the prize shows that your game is worth something. And the first place will also have a booth in Casual Connect next year. So just go there, register till Friday, register at GameCamps EU, and you can also come to my computer here and register, because we need you. And yeah, so thank you. Now I guess will be the longest session, the questions. I know there are lots of questions.
There basically are people that need to be from 2 countries. So
yes.
they switch you?
No.
From one?
No, there is no concept of teams.
You just need to be physically from the other country,
yes.
and within the company to
yes.
to participate.
Yes.
Ah, okay. We have one.
He has to be here in Latvia at GameCamps.
Faisal sticks. Okay.
Yeah, he has to be a participant. Only the participants of GameCamps. Yes.
We must build team before.
No. You can build teams now, or you can build teams there, or join teams at the event.
Can it be something random, like can care?
Totally random. Just go on stage, present your idea. You don't get people, join other team. You get people, check if they are from different countries, at least one of them. Take them in your team and build your idea. That depends how those teams form.
Okay, how much people must be in team?
Two countries, two people.
Oh.
At least. I suggest more, like programming, art, maybe some sound, and maybe another artist or another programmer. It will be a lot easier for you if you are a bigger team. And I really just want to tell it once again, just build something small, playable, cool, maybe a bit new idea, maybe not, maybe take some popular idea and recreate it better maybe. And if you have already started the project, just don't show it around anywhere, but just go to the event and continue working on your project. So you can start now.
Well, it might be a priority, a good story mode, but not so good.
No story mode, no story mode.
You just need to come
just
up
make
with
one level, but
that
really cool. I can tell you one of the best ideas, but they refuse to get the prize because they refuse to get any people from other countries. They made a pretty cool idea. You scan a piece of paper, and there are some platforms. You draw it with your hand, like with a black marker, and then you scan it, and you can jump all the levels. And I suggested the idea that you actually have a limited amount of black marker that you can draw, and red are spikes that are already on the screen, and then you have a limited amount of black marker, and that adds gameplay to the game. And they created it, and yeah, that would definitely win, but yeah, they didn't have members from other countries. You'll get 3 minutes, I guess. It's not for too long. The presentation should be cool. It should be short and cool.
Okay, how much time you have to create game?
48 hours, but you can start now.
Without sleeping.
Yeah, it's 48 hours.
Like intense.
Any other questions?
Is it possible just to go there and meet some people, like not working, just for fun?
It will be useful.
Well, maybe you want to meet some people, but they don't want to meet you because they want to work. They want to work on their projects, and they will have no time for talking and stuff. Yes.
Are there any creative bounds like themes or?
No themes.
Okay.
There was a theme in Estonia, and we agreed that that was a bad idea, and there will be no themes in Riga. Yeah, so it's in all those 4 countries. It was in Estonia, it will now be in Latvia, then in Sweden, then in Finland. Yes?
This event is one of the series of events that ends in 2019.
Yes.
Can you come back to the next competition?
Yeah, so, good question. So the main prize, these 10,000s, that's only a start. The main prize is in 2019, I guess. You go to Silicon Valley and you talk to big guys. So you can then join the next events with your already made project. For example, those winners of the last year, they are joining these game camps with their already made project, and they get a special mentorship about the business side and about these stuff. You won't get it because you didn't win the last one. Yeah, but if you win, you can join the next one. And just once again, it's really easy to win the money. I saw the projects and I saw them, and then I was like, just finish something and make something playable, and you will get the money. That's so easy. So, any other questions? Okay, if not, then I have some new stuff. So the new members, we have some new members in the association, and just want to inform you about them. So so the member number 42 is Alberta College. They are teaching game design and game related stuff. Yeah, whole school as one member. Yeah. So
join the school.
So the member number 43, Elena Nazarenko. Member number 44, Davis Vitolinch. Member number 45, Sia Estoti. So they are here. Thanks for joining. Member number 46, Girts Linkums. He's not here, but still cool. Member number 47, Jan Sēdiņš. Not here. Member number 48, Nauris Krause. Member number 49, Jānis Strautiņš. And did we get to 50? Do you think did we get to 50? Yes, we did get to 50. Member number 50, Juris Liepkalns. Member number 51, Alexandrs Grigorievs. Here, yes. Congratulations. Member number 52, Anastasia Grigorieva. Good work. And so we have a GameDev meetup 52. Did we surpass the meetup count? Did the member count surpass? Yes, exactly. Member number 53, Jānis Čipans. So the next meetup is 11th of October. So let's meet here. And we are going to Game On this Friday. So if you want, you can still join. We have a lot of free places in our bus. We can arrange a hotel for you. Just come, and it will be awesome event. Just read in GameDev.lv. There is a lot of information about there will be people from Riot Games, from Blizzard, and everything, from Wargaming. They are actually searching for projects to invest money. so you'll be able to talk. And now the question part. This time we'll make it a bit different. This time I will not ask you questions. I will show you pictures, and you will have to tell the game. And
that's interesting.
and now this time we'll have two beer questions, and then the special question, and you will get some pretty cool stuff. So the first question, the one who guesses the game first gets a free beer. So 3, 2, 1.
Elder Scrolls?
City Skylines.
Nope.
Sim City?
Nope.
Not Sim City.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Sims?
Think about what is in the pictures.
Eiffel Tower and
What Eiffel Tower is Wall Street?
Age of Empires. Yes. That's it. That's Empire State Building. So we got the first beer. Okay. Age of Empires. Okay, you also get a free beer. So, okay, the next. So Age of Empires was really, really easy. Yeah, believe me, it's easy. Try to guess this one.
Watermelon belly.
Nope.
Pregnant fruits?
Nope.
Fruit Ninja.
Nope. Don't think so primitive. Think what's actually in the picture.
Half-Life.
Yes, Half-Life.
What?
Half-Life.
Wow!
Respect. So you get the beer.
Nice.
And the next one is the special one. So the one who guesses the game gets everything for free. Free ticket to Game On, free hotel, free VIP ticket. VIP ticket, you get to VIP zone, you get free drinks and everything. So everything for free. The price worth it's 70 euros or 80 euros, something like that.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so try to guess this one. 3, 2, 1.
Fucking shit. GTA?
Yes, GTA.
Seriously?
Grand. £1,000 grand.
Grand Theft Auto, seriously?
Autobots.
Oh my fucking god!
So that was really quick. So you have to make the Friday free, and so that's it for this meetup. We have an open mic. If you have anything to show, any game, just come here, and we turn off the stream. And so wave to our those who watch the stream.
I got a free beer.
Yes, and okay, bye.